Welcome back to Castlebridge for the second instalment of building a platform out of cardboard. The platform you can see in front of you is actually one that was made on the other side of the tracks. It's just a very short one, and because I'm having a bridge going from one track to the other, I had to make sure that the height of the new platform was going to be the same as the old one. Obviously, in my design, I have some steps which has caused me a problem. I'll just show you now. So this was the design for the end of my platform. I've got steps running up from the pedestrian pavement, up the steps, onto the platform level, through the ticket office in front of you, and then on to continue along the platform. My problem was I had to make the steps correct to fit the platform height, and that's where I started to have a little bit of a problem. So things I had to do was to try and work this out properly. I just had to make one because I was getting so confused on the calculator trying to work out the height and thickness of that, and if it wasn't for that wonderful machine there, I would never have got all the sizes right. So this piece here is the tarmac of the road. This is the plasticard paving, which is just along here. So, and that's on 2 mil, so that paving is roughly about 7 inches higher off the road. Not too bad. This is the Slater's Victorian paving, which I'm going to use on the platform. Again, that's on 2 mil card and one of those, so we're getting on for about 7¼ inches as a step up, and it goes back I think about 10 inches, so it's reasonably good. Okay, so the next stage in the platform scenario is to mark out where we're going to put things. Now, as we know from this end, we've already done the mock-up on the steps. The steps obviously are going to be fitting in to where that cutout is, so this is going to be cut away and these steps will be in there. I have a ticket office that is going there. It's a bash kit. I haven't finished it yet, but that's the footprint it's going to be. This is the shape of the station building, so that's all been measured out, so we know where that's going. What we're also doing, I've marked 2 places there. That's one light is there. There's a light there. Inside this building there will be a light to illuminate inside. Here on the outside of this station building will be a small wall mounted light. Inside there will be lights in various places inside, which I've marked out that I've got to drill. I haven't got to drill those. I've got to drill the 2 at the front. As we move along, this is on the platform. That's a platform light's got to be drilled. That's a platform light's got to be drilled. This is the position of my adapted footbridge that I cut in half just to make it fit across the 2 tracks. Then we get to that one there. That's a station lamp's going to be cut out. I've got to drill through there. And this section here, that's my camera pod. I'll show you that later. The idea of drilling through these now is because when I actually put the strengthening bars underneath the platform, I don't want to put the strengthening bars in the same place that I really wanted my lighting to come down on. So that's what I'm going to do first. Okay, we've started to put the paving on, and when I get to a section like this, I make sure that the block, the paving block up there, matches, and then I put it underneath. Whoops. Anyway, you'll guess that because I can't do it with one hand. I put it underneath, and then I can score a line. I can score a line where it's supposed to be, and I can cut along that line. When I then turn the board over, I've now got this area, this line here. If I need to, I can trim it very slightly. This little tool is a plastic one. It's just very handy for spreading the glue over where you want it. I think it's just a modelling tool, plastic, but does the job very, very well. Well, here we have the board completely covered in the paving now, and these little differences in colours, when it's all painted, you'll never know. You can't feel the joints anywhere. I ran out of the Slaters, and luckily I found this. I don't know whose sheet it is, but it's an absolute match for the Slaters. Just filled the little bit that I actually needed. So there we go. Next stage is we'll turn it over and put the backing on. So the next thing to do is to turn the platform over. So we're looking at the underside, and these small bits of strips of card, we glued them all along the edge of the platform, all the way along, and that is because when we get our edging is going to go up against that, obviously, so that just gives us our edge profile, and that's what we're going to see. I've started to put the wall in. You see I've also put some strengtheners there to keep it upright. I've got a hole in that one because there's a cable going to go through that strengthener, and I didn't know where it was going to end. These are all my walls cut to size, ready to be put onto the platform. But something arrived in the post today that I had ordered from Right Track Signs, and these are absolutely delightful. Let me just show you. Now, he prints this to your station name. So the station we're doing at the moment is West Haven, but my big station is going to be Castlebridge. Now on top of that we've got little things like goods shed and which way is the station, and then we go into other signs, beware of the trains, can't see the light, pretty word, passengers request to cross the line by means of the footbridge, and I've got a footbridge. And then we have platform numbers, we have goods office, ladies room, etc., ticket office. So that's a really nice pack that he's done there, all printed, and it's on quite good quality card, and really nice, well worth having. At the back of each wall strip there's a couple of little right angle sections, and also you'll notice that there is an overlap, so when that goes behind there, the two come together and you've got a good chance of getting a really nice tight fit. Just a little tip if you haven't seen it before, I've got the pegs made the other way around, so they're grippers, so when I put the little upright bits on, then the peg is holding it still for a second. If you want to make peg clips, don't use that type, completely wrong, doesn't work. This is the type you need, and basically you just get the springs off, put your two bits together because that's how it's going to be working. You then need that one to go there, that one goes under there, Oh, goes under. Oh, come on. It's not easy when people are watching, is it? Oh, and the other one's come out now. Okay. Okay, so go under there. Right. And now push them down and bingo. There we go. It's as easy as that. One thing I haven't mentioned is that at both ends, excuse me, I've chamfered the edge of the card. It's not scientific, it's just going to be slightly better than not have it chamfered. And don't forget, when you get your edge of your card, just colour that in with something suitable so that it doesn't really show up. All of the walls are now on the platform all the way up, and at this end I've started doing some strengthening. Now when we get to here, because I'm going to have a light here and a light there, I need the cable to go through, so I've just put an eyelet in there, and for this lamp the eyelet will go through there, and eyelets going up over my cross strengthening pieces, so that when the cables go out, they'll be nice and neat and held in place. This is something that I forgot. This section here, under my baseboard, that is where I got a cross beam, and I did have my outlet for all my cables just there, so I've had to move it to there. I've also just had a quick look, and I have a cross beam there, but nothing's in the way. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to take the platform and put it in position on the layout just to see what it looks like. I'm very pleased to say it looks okay. I put a small set of steps in that end so the drivers can get to the water tower, a water discharge, and yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. When I get to this end, this is just a rough mock-up because I've got to build the steps properly, but that'll just give you some idea of how the steps are going to look. If you remember earlier on in this little video, I mentioned that I was going to have a hole there, marked it camera, and I'll explain it later. So this is the explanation. I have a small camera called a Runcam. Now the Runcam is a smashing little camera, so I've decided that I've mounted it on just with Blu Tack on a small self-made base, and the base goes in there. This is just a mock-up, nothing's fixed, of showing you how the camera situation is going to work. And of course I'll have one at the other end, I expect, and in other places. Now we'll see what the camera. I'm going to push the train in by hand because I've got no electricity at the moment.